The student wants to compare some advantages of docked and dockless bike share programs. Okay, I'm gonna just get to the point. Okay, disadvantage of both programs. Okay, so it's clear from the question alone that there are two kinds of bike share programs: docked and dockless. So let's read the note. Bike share program provide bicycle for shared use. That's just an intro about bike share programs. In docked bike sharing, and then in the line 4 you'll see in dockless bike sharing. So we have 1 and 2. So in docked bike sharing, riders rent a bike and return it to designated docking station. Is it talking about disadvantage? No, it doesn't. So line 2 is not. Line 3, dock programs are orderly and offer consistency to riders. But, okay, so far the first clause here is positive. But when you see the word but, the transition word but, now we expect something negative, but requires significant space and money to implement. That's what we need to include here. Okay, and that's what matches with the disadvantage. In dockless bike sharing, riders locate a bike and leave it wherever they choose. That's a very positive. So far, this is positive, and this is negative. And this is positive. You don't have to put it back. You can definitely do this one way and just leave it wherever you want. You know what, just to make it consistent, let's put it above. Yeah, that's a positive aspect of dockless bike sharing. Dockless programs are relatively simple and inexpensive to implement and offer flexibility to riders. Whole thing is positive here. Now, on the very last line, dockless programs can be disorganized. That is definitely negative, the disadvantage. Okay, so that's the disadvantage. So keeping these two highlights from line 3 and 6, let's answer the question. A, dockless programs can be disorganized. Okay, so far that's good because that's negative. Docked program, on the other hand, offer order and consistency. Okay, that's positive. Okay, we want disadvantage, and you look at the word end. Now this is not disadvantage, this is actually a good thing about the dock program. So let's just keep A for now. Let's go B. Worth noting that is that while dockless programs are relatively easy and inexpensive to implement, they are less flexible than docked programs. Okay, so when you say relatively easy and inexpensive to implement for the dockless, that's a positive or advantage of the program. But if it's less flexible than docked program. Okay, so here we seem to focus more on the dockless programs. Just pinning one and then saying that's positive and this is negative. But we need to mention both programs' disadvantage. So because it's not doing that, we can eliminate choice B. For choice C, we're going to have one docked programs are more resource intensive than dockless programs, but they avoid some of the latter's organizational challenges. So first I want to mention that the latter here is referring to the dockless programs. So the very first line tells us that docked programs are more resource intensive, so that's clearly a negative, which is a disadvantage of the docked program. And when you say they avoid some of the latter's, some of the dockless programs' organization challenges, it indirectly tells you that the dockless programs they do face the organization challenges, because it said in line 6 that it can be disorganized. So while it's not like verbatim, but it does kind of in a indirect way to mention that the dockless programs pose some challenges in organization. Therefore, C is actually good that it can mention both. Okay, so it is true that it's a positive. It's the sentence alone itself is a positive or the advantage of the doc program, but it's still in indirect way mentioned that the dockless programs pose the organization challenges. So C is better answer than A here, okay? Because A is really talk about negative, and then suddenly on the other program you only talk about positive. So it does not talk about disadvantage. So let's get rid of A. Choice D, though dockless programs offer flexibility, docked bike programs provide bicycle for shared use. Okay, so choice D is incorrect because the dockless programs offer flexibility is the positive aspect or the advantage of dockless programs, and it doesn't talk about the negative aspect of the dockless programs. So the answer D cannot be the answer. The correct answer should be C.